and welcome to GCU Review.
Getting closer.
What's hot and what's not.
Getting closer.
Bye.
Getting closer.
Hi guys, I'm Dee.
And I'm Danielle.
And welcome to
GCU Review,
where today we are reviewing Missing, which is streaming on Netflix, and it stars Nia Long and Storm Reid.
Yes, and so the movie itself is shot from a perspective of not just cameras that are around, like being filmed, but laptop cameras, her phone. It's the third-party perspective that's really from technology. So social media, the laptops, the camera phones, everything. And so it's kind of weird, like, because at first I didn't think I would like that so much.
And that's what I had to say. Okay, wait a minute. Let me stop.
Yeah.
And get ready, because I thought that's what it was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I don't like narrated movies.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
uh-huh.
saying, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let me stop and get my brain ready, and then go. But it wasn't as bad or as much as I thought it would be.
It wasn't as much as I thought it would be either. I will say though, it's not something that you can just kind of not pay attention to. You have to pay attention to. It's kind of like when you watch something with subtitles.
Yep.
Because there's so much subtext happening and there's so much information that's happening, because you have to see the emails and you see the text messages,
the notes, and everything she took, all that.
Right. So because she's using her computer to basically drive forward her investigation, but we'll get to that. So as she mentioned, it's Nia Long, Storm Reid. Nia Long plays Grace, a mom, and Storm plays her daughter, who is June, and she calls her affectionately Junebug. It's really cute. But the movie starts out with a home video. Again, going through this is more of a found footage type of situation versus the rest of the movie. But it starts with a video of one of their vacations, and it shows Storm's character June as a little girl with her dad.
With her daddy.
Yeah. And she's picking up the camera and he's playing with her and getting her to record her toys, and it's kind of a really cute moment. And then all of a sudden, after the mom comes in, the dad doesn't like he's feeling too well, and he sits down and his nose starts bleeding.
And I was very confused. But it led up to when you could see where she was researching like cancer, and now we think, he done died and of cancer, and she's been raising June all by herself, and then it starts.
Right, because it's not even, just like she said, it's not narrated in a way where they talk about the fact that her dad died from cancer. What it shows instead is search results from older versions of Google that would have been from that time period when June was little, of certain diseases. So like an aneurysm, and I forget what the other one was. It was a really
tumorous
brain tumor.
But yeah.
And so you're looking at her research on that in order to put together the clues that the father passed away from some sort of brain disorder or issue.
Right.
So you see June and the mom trying to have a conversation via FaceTime, and the mom's being a mom. She done tried to use Siri to open FaceTime.
And June is being a teenager, and at the beginning, kind of wanted to choke her.
Yeah.
Because these teenagers,
they're so annoyed by us.
With attitudes and think they know everything and just don't understand that we don't understand all the technology that's going on. So yeah, it was a typical mother-daughter type of relationship.
But the thing was, the conversation they were having was because mom is getting ready to go on a vacation to Colombia
with her new boyfriend,
with her new boo, whose name is Kevin Lynn in the movie. And June's not really feeling the whole situation, but she got other plans. If you look at her texts and her chats, she the whole time is orchestrating a party
as
teenagers do, and she's fronting up the money for the booze and for everything because her mama gave her an emergency fund, and this little girl done blew it
on the booze,
on the alcohol.
So yeah, and then of course the party begins, and she's drunk.
Wilding. Wilding.
They do.
Because, you know, Storm Reid was in Euphoria, so she had to
Yes.
learn something from Zendaya about portraying being drunk and all this kind of stuff. Because that show is amazing.
So, yeah, it's a typical mom's out of town, we throw a party. But then it starts to happen. Strange texts start coming, and she tried to get in touch with her mom. She couldn't reach her. She picked her up from the airport. She was there for hours waiting on her.
She was there for hours.
And then her mom never showed. And
Mom didn't show up.
Now she's searching for her through the computer.
Through the computer. And the mom does have a friend that's checking on her, though. Now, June is 18 years old. But the mom has her friend, Heather, checking on her, who's a lawyer.
Who's a lawyer.
As far as we know,
Right.
at this point, she's a lawyer. And she's checking on her and stuff, and she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go pick my mom up from the airport, because that's the one thing her mom asked her to do. She goes down there, and like she said, no show. You see her looking through the records, talking to the people at the airport. Did they pick up their bags? Did their flight, get delayed? Everybody got off the plane except her mama. So now things are starting to feel fishy.
Yeah. So, but then when she called her mom's friend, the lawyer never came by. Now, you're supposed to be here watching me and helping me, but I call you for an emergency, but you never come by. But you know how when June tried to tell Heather, my mom sent me pictures, and she was like, okay, well, Ken sent me pictures too.
That
She
part.
was like, well, why you sending you pictures? What he sending you pictures
Why
for?
is my mama's boyfriend sending you pictures?
What y'all got going on? It was a lot.
It's a lot.
It was a lot, but you have to watch. That's not one of them movies you can walk out the room.
No.
As soon as you walk out the room, a
You
clue
miss
is
something.
gone. And then now you're really confused.
Lost one of Blue's Clues, child. So,
Backpack. But
so fast forward, she's trying to do an investigation. She finds some really clever ways to get help on the situation, because she's talked to the consulate, the U.S. Embassy, the FBI, and all these people. And at this point, the way I'm set up, everybody's suspicious. The cat, the friend, the boyfriend, the Uber driver that took them to the place, everybody is a suspect to me, because
I was a little suspect about the FBI. But you know what? At that point, everybody's, like you said, I'm suspicious of everybody.
Everybody.
So I didn't trust the FBI that he was really actually helping her until
she Googled him and found that he was a real person, and then she FaceTimed him to see his face.
She was really clever.
She was super clever.
She was really clever as an 18-year-old, but these kids come out knowing how to work computers, so.
And the things that she didn't know how to do, she tried to figure out how to do it. Like, there's a point in this where she's like, nobody's gonna help me. I need to try to talk to somebody at this hotel in Colombia to find out what happened to my mama. She uses Google Translate to have an entire conversation with somebody who does not speak English at the hotel, in order to get information about, is there a videotape? How long does it take for you guys to overwrite the tape? And he told her 48 hours.
Yeah, she did the little translation of this. And
I would have been sweating.
But how do you know how to pronounce words in a language you don't speak? Yeah, she did very good.
She did very well.
Did very good.
I mean, I had 4 years of Spanish.
But the clever way that she found the help that was over there in Colombia was a delivery guy on a bicycle.
On a bicycle. She enlisted a delivery service. It's actually like kind of TaskRabbit, a site where you can hire somebody to do an odd job for you. She found the equivalent of that site in Colombia and ended up meeting up with Javi.
For $8.
$8 an hour.
Javi was cheap.
And she didn't have that much money left because she spends it on alcohol that she threw up on the floor.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm not mad. It's fine. So she had a little bit of money left, and she used it to link up with this person named Javi, who did his best to help. I mean, he was helping.
Oh yeah, he was all in.
He did all the legwork, and she found out the different places that they went to, and she also found out some things about Kevin. She figured out
his password
to his Gmail accounts, was looking at his
things.
emails, and found a bunch of women up in there. All kind of women. Black women.
He was a con artist.
Well, not just black women. Older women, too. All kind of women.
He was taking their money.
He found out that he had a record and he had been in prison.
And that was the first part of the movie, if you remember, was him. I had to go back.
Yeah.
I had to rewind. I was like, I saw him. So it was the first part where they caught him before and when he went to jail.
I didn't catch that either. They showed a little clip, and you don't know who he really
he
is
was
yet.
at the time.
But they showed him getting arrested. So you find out that he's got this record, so now he's suspect number one. And she's like, oh, my mama is with this man, what is going on? Found a whole conversation that he had with some chick talking about he was going to meet her later on that night, who kind of looks like her mama. Key point.
Looks like.
That looks like her mama.
We don't all look
And
alike.
then she finds this site that shows you cameras that are always on in tourist areas where you can see what's happening in real time. And found out that they bought a lock at a hardware store in Columbia. Javi found that out for her. And the lock was used on a Lovelock Bridge, I guess a tourist location there. And I've seen those before. You put your little initials on it. I love you.
And then he asked her to marry him.
She proposed to her.
On the bridge. But all of that was suspect.
All of that was suspect.
Because she had went back to find out when he went to the hotel to find out that they left. Javi said that the lady said she spilled wine on the bed.
He talked to the housekeeper.
Her mama don't drink.
Her mama don't drink. And Kevin doesn't drink either.
Right.
And so she's like, all right, so who would have spilled wine on their bed in a hotel room? She said, no, the mom, the woman, she said Grace, the person who she believed was Grace, apologized beforehand that, oops, I'm sorry, I spilled wine on the bed. Sorry about the mess. And she's like, my mama doesn't drink wine.
Mama doesn't drink.
Oh my gosh, it's so many different twists and turns.
I was so lost for a long time. And I didn't understand, because first they made her look guilty. Because Grace had changed her name.
By the time she filed the missing persons report and everything started being on the news, people do what they start to do. The whole true crime phenomenon is real. But people think like they're going to crack the case. And so they're on social media and they're talking about it. Social media detectives, the social media lawyers, all of them
everybody
are getting
everything.
on and they're speaking their piece. And they're like, well, she's suspect. She hired him to do this. And she's the reason why all this is happening. She hired him to kidnap her, and she's faking her death and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So fast forward to the other element in this. It seems like at this point, her mom might be guilty. Kevin's definitely guilty. She's suspecting Heather as well. And then a major development happens. June decides to go visit Heather to get some more information because she believes that Heather might be in on it. And when she gets to Heather's office, girl dead.
Somebody got her.
So that's one suspect off the list.
Somebody got her. But why is she? Then it comes a whole nother thing of, well, who killed Heather? Why is she gone? I thought she was in on it, but now she's not. So, oh my God, it's so many twists and turns. It's like one of them roller coasters. Just hold on when you watch it.
Just hold on when you watch it.
Just hold on, because I was mad, I was sad, I was frustrated, and then when I found out in the end that the key player was actually her daddy. This whole was not dead.
Time, who was not dead, did not have an aneurysm. Mama was under. The reason why she was looking suspicious when the FBI was looking at her is because she was actually in protective custody from him.
They changed their names, and he was in jail, actually. And he was in jail with who?
Kevin!
OMG.
The daddy was in jail with Kevin, y'all.
Now it's starting to make little sense. So, criminals, a plot, my mama missing.
He set this whole thing up to get Grace so that he could try to take June away from her. He wanted to kill Grace. And Kevin was just another pawn in this because he became his friend. But he did his thing, though. Yeah. He met up with her on social media. Oh, you look pretty to me. I want to talk to you. Played the whole game, the long game.
That takes patience.
Which he was used to doing because he was a scammer doing romance scams.
Oh, my goodness.
It was absolutely insane. But, I mean, towards the end of it, it all comes together. June figures out what's going on. She sees her father again for the first time in 12 years.
12 years.
And he puts her in a trunk. He puts her in
the trunk, and it takes her to the old house.
Happy freaking Father's Day.
Right.
the
baby,
year.
it's your daddy. Come on, get in the trunk.
Come on, get in this
What?
trunk.
Yeah, ties her up. And of course, June don't give up. She don't give up.
No, she don't.
And then Grace finds out June's there. So we go to the old house where he's been keeping Grace this whole time, tied up. And now her and June are back together trying to figure it out. But then Grace gets shot.
He shot the mama in front
a
of the
lot.
baby.
It's a lot.
Y'all,
It's
he
a lot.
shoots her, then locks them in there and goes get a shovel and starts digging a hole.
Digging a hole.
Like,
Digging a
how
hole.
am I supposed to want to live with you and be your daughter, and you done shot my mama in front of me? So anyway, the whole thing comes together again because of technology. Jill, remember, she has on a smartwatch, and her smartwatch is actually is connected to her phone, which is back at home in front of her laptop. The camera and the microphone, the cell phone is on her desk. The cameras that are all surveilling this house that he has them trapped in have a two-way communication. So she says, and I'm sorry, I'm apologizing ahead of time for messing up y'all's phone. Hey Siri, and calls the emergency number. I apologize for setting off y'all Siri. So anyway, that's how she calls 911 in order to get them rescued.
But let's go back. So he kills Grace. No, he don't kill
He
Grace.
shot her.
He shot Grace. She's on the floor. He's fighting with June. Then Grace.
Oh God, I forget that part.
Grace gets enough because she's still fighting for her baby to get a piece of that mirror and stab the daddy.
She did. She
Right
stabbed him in the neck. She stabbed him in the neck. And he was trying to, and instead of, the first thing he goes to run to do is try to turn off the Wi-Fi because he knows his daughter is smart at this point.
Right.
Because he's been seeing everything that she done came up with.
So
Okay, so and all the stuff that she done accessed, and he tries to go turn off the Wi-Fi and dies before he can get it off.
Yep. And everything was great again.
And so she was able to reach 911 by reaching her phone. I thought that was brilliant.
I was, like I said, on a roller coaster ride.
It was smart.
You have to be all in order to get everything going on. And of course, you pick your own little ooh who done it type
Yes.
of situation. But the way this came about and played out, and
I was wrong several times.
so many times, you didn't know what was going on.
You know what? I love the way they did the plot. The plot was clever. I love the twists and turns and all of that. I love the actresses, of course, because they are amazing. And for me, this gets a hot.
It gets a hot for me.
Hot.
Because I love Nia Long.
Yes.
And this little Storm Reed, I like her.
She's a precious baby.
I like her because she plays great characters. So we're going to give this a hot.
Yes.
So
I enjoyed it. You guys let us know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and
if you have a suggestion
let us
for
know.
a movie that you want us to review, go ahead and comment down below and we will get to it. Okay?
We'll check it out. Whatever it is, we'll check it out. We're putting ourselves in your hands.
In your hands.
So
Okay.
be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind, rewind.
Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.